Okay, let's start our meeting today. I will start with some good news. Thanks to the effort from Max, now we have a branch, Autoware 1.15, with OpenPlanner latest modification. So we merged from OpenPlanner 1.13 to now we have Autoware 1.15. And I did last week some initial tests. The planner can create global plans, local plans, and receive objects from the KF control tracker and Euclidean cluster. So the basic functionality for OpenPlanner 2.0 is working fine with Autoware latest. Now there is a plan to do a really rigorous testing. So I will introduce this plan today and share the testing plan with everyone, so you can do it at your lab. Also, we want to discuss the merging of modifications. We agreed before, after we got this version stable, we start merging modifications. Last week, I suggested to Max, we start by creating the use cases, or more like the issues you had before with OpenPlanner 1 and 1.5. You try it again with the latest, and if it's not working, then we add it as an issue, and we create a merge request to fix this issue. So everything should be documented in the OpenPlanner 1.15. And it will be like a common source for everyone using the latest OpenPlanner. Also today, I want to discuss about the HD map support, Linit 2 and OpenDrive. And Armin will present his modification to support OpenDrive natively, or directly with Autoware, especially using OpenPlanner 2.0. So that's the agenda for today and what we want to do. Let's start with the OpenPlanner 1.15 and merging modifications. Max, I want your feedback on this.
Not much to say. It went quite well. I only had a few problems with the DP Planner package, but as I understood from you, it's also an old package that is not much used, so maybe that's why it was a bit harder to merge. Mm-hmm. And other than that, yes, now it lives in the 1.15 branch, and yeah, then we can work on it now.
Okay.
Any other comment on this merge?
No, it's fine. We just want to merge the rest. I have some local changes, small changes actually, but it's very critical to support the simulation, Carla simulator. So this is one thing. And from your side, I know you have several modification, and you disabled some parts of OpenPlanner to support your testing scenarios. So can we just list these. It was presented in the first meeting. So my idea is we need to just one by one take those and test it in the latest, and if we can add a fix or add an option to disable this feature for a specific test, we can do that. For example, if you want to disable some features or some behaviors of OpenPlanner, rather than the one is currently added to the launch file, such as the enable and disable swerving, following, traffic light and sign support. We can also add enable and disable other feature. This also could be an option. So that my question is, I can list that from our first meeting, or what do you prefer? I can do that, or you can just make a small summary of the features that the University of Tartu has had with OpenPlanner. So what do you think?
Like, we haven't prepared a proper summary for today, but we have a list of potential pull requests, but these still need some work to nicely decouple them from all the other changes that we did. So it might take a little bit time for us to prepare those pull requests.
Okay. I have a suggestion. We can start like with the as a evaluation metric for the pull request. If the file, if like changes in one file, like or changes on the library only or in the node only, we can have prioritize them. And there is a lot of like easy changes. If only in the node, it will affect only this node. This is an easy change. And if we can like make sure or evaluate this will not affect other modules, then we can merge it. So you can pick some of those with the minimum changes. Like you don't have to send merge request right away. Just send email to me or Slack. Then I will check if it will not affect any other modules. We can do merge. And we always maintain two lists of the what we want to do, even if it's like just titles. We don't. I know we want to add design documents and just a testing procedure, but just knowing the items, the main headlines of the merge request or the issues will help in this stage.
Yes, I'm going to just look up our list of the potential pull requests that we had. We haven't elaborated them yet.
Okay. Okay, maybe we can make it next next meeting.
Sure. Yeah.
We can discuss your list next meeting. Yeah, no problem. Okay. One question, actually, we talked about this, but I want to make sure we are on the same page. Do we want to make the release of OpenPlanner 1.15 with the current stage or after adding the merge requests? Any ideas?
For me, it's hard to say. I'm not that much involved in the Autoware development, so it's hard to judge for me.
Okay.
I think if we want to make really a clean release, it would be nice to also have some cleaning pull requests, especially. I don't know. I think it's good to make it as early as possible. So maybe I would have some feature pull requests and some cleaning pull requests, or I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. What kind of cleaning pull requests do you are like code review or refactoring or?
Both. We can maybe start to introduce those changes in a limited number of files. Because the more time passes, the more it will be hard to refactor or anything. And also write some small Java doc on the functions. Just some good practices to make the code easier to understand.
Okay.
And it's also occasion maybe to integrate some feature pull requests. Because the last release was quite a long time ago, I guess, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's a good idea. Maybe we set a tentative date or like a month for release, so we can have a guideline or kind of limited time, so we can start working faster on this. So I'm thinking maybe in 4 months we can set something like that. We have the evaluate the merge requests and we clean the code. Are 4 months are enough?
I think from our side, that's realistic.
Yeah, it's already a nice milestone, I think.
Okay, great. Then we will try to target for we are in the end of mid-May, then June, July, August, mid-September. Okay. Okay, that's a good target. Let's work toward that target. Now, with this being discussed, I want to share with you some, like, it's a big document. I will share it so you can, but I will just go through the items fast. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. So this is the like testing document. We have some proposal for testing in both simulation and field testing. There is an introduction, what we want to do, what is this testing is all about, testing goals. We need to have to confirm that integration is working fine between OpenPlanner and the rest of Autoware, and also between all OpenPlanner nodes. So inter-node interface should be working as expected. Global planning testing, that we can plan from point A to point B with lane change. Also, local planning, ability to continuously generate local smooth trajectories. Also in local planning, ability to plan velocities for behavior such as stopping in stop sign, traffic light. Behavior planning, the ability to correctly and smoothly select the suitable behavior state for current situation. So just general testing goals. Tools, we will use ROSBAG tools to test passively the planner using RViz-based simulation, and use Carla LG or LG SVL simulators. Cases will look like this. For example, this is testing case 1. Variable size, micro plan distance test. Just generate local trajectories and follow global path from start to end. These are the used nodes in this test, and to evaluate the test is correct, there must not be any deviation from the path. Jerk is small, like the car doesn't go left and right, or the steering is sharp. We have sharp steering, and reach the final goal point. Once, if the simulation result in these, then we can call this case a success, and so on. Case 2. So these are with no obstacle avoidance cases. Same, what nodes, what we want to cover, and what's the results. If we can add, I'm thinking, but it will take some time to add some picture to show example of the case, and also steps in Runtime Manager or using the launch files. This will be will give this testing the testing document will be much better and easier for everyone to use. Also, if we can continue defining this test cases like this one, driving low speed, medium speed, high speed. This is like speed testing test. This is following other vehicle test, and so on. For example, this case B with obstacle avoidance and using the rollouts. So, and the cases could be automated. One thing about these kind of test cases, we want to be able to automate these cases. Before automating, if we do manual, we know what's the limitation and what's need to be done, like what's the easiest way to automate these cases. So these are defined cases which test all the main issues. I know about OpenPlanner, and it can happen when you change something or introduce a new code or behavior. So yeah, this is a like very detailed examples. For field test, this is also from my experience what we need to do before going for field test. And integrating with other nodes related to field test. I actually used these field test procedure in my field test at Nagoya University. And also similar steps when we start testing in the real car, what we need to do first and second testing to make sure everything working smoothly. So who's like interested in, I think Armin would be interested in this.
Yeah, I'm super interested in this. I was already starting to collect some information I can share with you guys. I had some for like a university submission, I had written up a small extended abstract I can share with you as a preprint, and there I'm already proposing some type of solution where all of this would be automated. And I'm currently working on the implementation of this at our university, where we are planning to upload the recent changes to OpenPlanner and some XML files as scenario descriptions to our Git. And then we would have a server running, which is already automatically listening to new Git pushes. It would pull those, run the tests automatically, and like as soon as it's finished, it would push HTML or PDF, which is automatically generated with the test results, back to the repository, so the developer can take a look at the results. And also something I could, sorry, I muted myself. Something I also could share now regarding this, I have worked together with the TU Munich and their Common Road team, and it's super easy to use their scenario description file format for generation of those test scenarios. I shared this before, I think. And now I added also like random noise to static obstacles, which helps with testing of swerving, since we had some issues with those on the campus. And I have a video showing this.
Okay.
Share my screen. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Let me enable sharing.
Yeah. Because I think it's basically what you would want to do with those test cases.
Yes, it's mainly related to automation of testing. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It currently looks like this. You only have to set the goal position, but this can be automated as well. And then it does a test run there. And as you see, those obstacles have random noise applied to them, but you set the position and orientation of those and the size in an XML file. And then the vehicle will do its swerving maneuver. And you could, for example, set a threshold distance, or as soon as the vehicle collides with one of the other obstacles, then you would stop the simulation time, take a screenshot, and upload it back to the Git repository so the developer can see what happened.
Okay, that's really actually good. And one thing still I need to understand. I understand, because the most difficult part of automated testing for planning is defining the scenario.
Yeah.
And because every common road, they have their own scenario definition, and other testing or automated testing or even simulation environment, they have their own. Like there is also the scenario, the standard one. I forget his name. Open scenario.
Yeah.
So be able to convert, this is okay, but also defining the scenarios, like what I did in the document here, is another issue. So actually we can have a process, define a process between defining these kind of scenarios, because it's based on human definition. Now your work is based on that. The scenarios are defined by a person.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there is different research, which is scenario defined from log data, from recorded data.
Yeah, that's
Extract
interesting
scenario,
as well. Yeah.
classification, and classify, and then extract, and then do the process. So it's a different part. Like, so maybe someone will join our team working on this later. But if we can define from the point of having a standard scenario definition file and then use it, that's a good that's the process we want to define.
How would you want to handle dynamic obstacles or like other traffic participants? Because as long as they are like static or just have a random noise applied to them, it's quite easy to match like timing of the ego vehicle starting and so on. But as soon as you have like a dynamic vehicle, maybe going on this road here over to there, then there would be the issue that if your acceleration controller is tuned a bit off, then the ego vehicle would start quite slowly, and therefore this vehicle wouldn't even interact with your ego vehicle. And so I think there is quite some work to do with maybe even like triggers for this vehicle only to start as soon as you reach maybe this point. Because otherwise you wouldn't test the interaction between those vehicles correctly.
Yes, and in Carla challenge, they have this kind of triggers. When the ego vehicle approach the intersection or passes the intersection, they activate or deactivate some actors.
Okay.
So this is need to be defined in the file, as you said, and not static. It has to be related to the ego vehicle.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, we will need some kind of feedback or trigger from the ego vehicle to in the scenario. And this is also can be scenario file definition. The definition scenario file definition standard or tags. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's quite some work to do still, but I hope we can get all of this running for the Autoware integration of OpenPlanner. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
I don't know if we have time. If you can share the process you have now for set up the GitHub and the server, and also we want to check maybe show us the scenario definition file.
I haven't set up the automation yet. I just wrote up what I want to do, which is what I explained to you like a few minutes ago. But I can show you the scenario file, like for example, for this scenario, but I would have to prepare it. Like I can show it to you in like 10 minutes or so. Okay.
I'm just, it's like today maybe is not the like time for that. We can discuss it in a separate meeting or like in a next meeting.
I'm happy
today we want to discuss about the map, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
this is different one different.
Yeah, then let's simply push it to the meeting in 2 weeks or even a bit later. Maybe I have finished something regarding the automation up to that point already.
Then I would share the testing. There is a question on the chat.
I wonder if you could share that those slides with us. I think we are here in Tartu University. We are also very interested in testing and having a more rigorous testing procedure. And something we have been looking into is trying out the SVL Simulator. Like they recently changed the name from LGSVL to just SVL Simulator, and they have a lot of new functionality there. For example, one thing is a visual scenario editor. I cannot demo it to you right now, but one member of our team has been experimenting with it. And we also have been working on digital twin of our demo route. So one of the first workgroup meetings, we showed our demo route driving with a real car. So we have the exact same demo route now in the simulation in SVL.
Oh, that's great actually to have your route in simulation.
Yeah, maybe I can show it to you even.
Okay.
So that's exactly the same route, starts in front of our university and then goes on. Like we have the other cars, and the road is perfectly accurate. Like it's been matched with the GPS coordinates, and heights and everything should be matching. And the traffic lights are exactly where they are, and the traffic signs are exactly where they are, and so on. So I think it actually looks pretty cool.
That's really nice.
One a little bit. Yeah, so we are planning to make progress with this, and we're also working with a visual scenario editor and creating those scenarios and trying to automate running those scenarios. So by the end of August, we hope that we have something that we can demonstrate maybe.
Yeah, that would be great actually. Yeah, actually we will try to support with this as much as possible. Maybe we can mix between what Armin is doing and what you are doing. So the automation process should include SVL, or we can have the simulator as independent entity or pluggable. So we can take SVL, put Carla, or put the Roadrunner evaluation or RSS or library. Yeah, this could be a very good scenario. And still, and also Autoware Foundation, they are working on that. If we can propose something for them, we can get more support from their side.
Yeah, our goal was that the simulation has to be that much accurate so that we can use the same vector map in the simulation and in the real world. And I think it is at the moment. So even the heights of the traffic lights should be accurate enough so that the same map works in both cases. But I also wanted to comment that I think the SVL simulator is still quite heavy. Like rendering all this 3D scene is quite expensive. And I'm not sure that would be a good choice for something like a regular testing that you do on each commit. So I believe that the simulator that Armin was using was a little bit simplified and maybe works at a higher level. And it might be a better match for just continuous testing or regular testing.
Yes, actually using the simulator is like a final stage before going to the field. For each, for example, each commit or merge request, it's by choice. If we are going for release or we are having a big merge request which changes in the planning behavior, then we can trigger it manually that we wanted this kind of test. Like it's a special automated test, not with every, of course, this will not be feasible and all these scenarios will, another issue beside the the graphics or resources requirement. And when you test some kind of scenario like lane change or intersection, each scenario takes time to be executed. Like for the process, the car to move and another car, and it wait for the traffic light, wait for the sign. This takes time. If you have 20 of those scenarios, then it's naturally will take time.
So what, for example, what we might be willing to do is to implement some of those scenarios that you had on your slides, to implement those in the SVL simulator, maybe. This is something we could look into.
Okay, that would be great. And we can...
That's why I would be interested in getting access to those slides.
Yeah, sure.
I could discuss it with a person who is working on the scenarios.
Sure. I will.
Yeah, it's also kind of the same for us.
Yeah, great. Actually, we can share the document, and we can merge the suggestion from Armin, suggestion from Tartu University side, and we can come up with one better document. Name the scenarios, put the screenshots, and what each scenario supported, automated, or and actually, as you said, is it for continuous integration testing or for pre-field testing, or how long it will take for each scenario to be executed, and how much resources it's needed? Yeah. Okay, great. I will share it once we finish the meeting.
And also, I wanted to say that I can be useful in continuous integration. It was my main job. It used to be my main job at some point. So just saying that if needed, I can help.
What do you think, Armin? We can have like a three-way meeting, me, you, and Max, to discuss more about that?
Yeah, I would like to do so. Yeah.
Okay. We'll set up that, and we will try to define the process and working process and testing process also. Okay, that's great. Thiago, you have a question. You can introduce yourself and tell us what you can do? Can you?
Yes, of course. So,
yeah, sure. You are welcome. Can you introduce yourself? And
sure. Yes, my name is Thiago de Borba. I work for the University of Ingolstadt in Germany. And I'm working with Autoware since September last year. So I'm new with autonomous vehicle simulation. In this case, I'm working with OpenPlanner since 3 months ago, and I was in the chat looking for some help and also for some more experience, and I found this group, and that you guys are developing OpenPlanner for local planning and global planning, and it's really interesting for me. And I'm planning to continue this job that I'm doing here at Technische Hochschule Ingolstadt. I'm planning to go further to a doctor thesis. So yes, I'm really interested to share my experience with you and get more experience. And as I wrote you, I have this bridge with Carlos, so I can test OpenPlanner using some scenarios inside Carla, and I can also use our platform for our drive-by-wire platform to test this using some maps here at university or some test field. Yeah, that I think I can also bring some more students to join our working group. So this is what I can offer right now. I hope it's so I can bring something new, some more issues I can find, or some more improvements I can find to make OpenPlanner even better.
That's great. That's really great. Amazing. Thank you. And we're looking forward for your contribution and collaboration. And of course, yeah, you can start working with us. And if you actually working with Autoware 1.14 with Carla, that's a good thing. And maybe you can move to also test the latest 1.15, which from our branch.
Okay, I will do this. I will install the new version. And also the newest version of OpenPlanner. I heard that you have a new version running.
Yes, actually, this is what we accomplished last month with Max. We merged the latest modification of OpenPlanner 2.0 with Autoware Master, which is supposed to be release 1.15 soon. So now you can use the latest from Autoware and the latest from OpenPlanner in one place.
Perfect.
So currently still at my repository, Hatem Darwish repository, and branch called OpenPlanner.1.15.
Okay, I will share this information with the other students. I think we can start working this week with the newest version.
Okay.
And for sure, for the next meeting, I will share some more information regarding problems we find, and also some improvements we think it's important. At the beginning, we would like to start simulating using Carla, but as I told you, it's no big issue to bring it to some field tests. But I think it's safer to test first in simulation, and once it's running perfectly, we can bring it to field test. But it's feasible.
Okay, that's great. Okay, I'm looking forward next meeting if you can prepare like a simple presentation or some of your colleague working on that planning issue and OpenPlanner. Then also they can introduce what they are working on and what's the issue they are facing.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, great. Next, HD map support. Currently, OpenPlanner supports the KML very well because it's well integrated with OpenPlanner, and vector map also supported very well. Lanely 2 is not tested because the functionality for Lanely 2 was not mature enough in release 1.13 and Autoware 1.13. But now, because we moved to the master, the 1.15, I can test with Lanely 2 and add the support in OpenPlanner for Lanely 2. So this will be my my job to do. And then for OpenDrive, there is one before we discuss supporting OpenDrive fully or partially. Currently, in the runtime manager, if you are using runtime manager in Autoware from 1.15, 1.14, there is in the mapping dialog, there is a option to select Lanely 2. Would you think it's better to add in the UI another item to even be able to load KML and OpenDrive, or this is not necessary to put effort and more changes? Is modifying the UI worth the working on that, or just the launch file parameters is enough?
At least I don't use the UI, so I cannot say.
Anyone interested in using and modifying UI?
I'm not using the UI.
Okay. Okay. So it is not important for now.
I think for new users it will be important, but for users who really work with it and develop, I think they're not using the UI. Yeah. The other one will.
And working with simulators, Carla or SVL, they don't use it. So also, I don't think it's important. But I saw a lot of people struggling with setting up the launch file, and they like to use the UI. So maybe like a side issue.
For me, what could be really useful is to give some example workspace. A small workspace with one small map, one with OpenPlanner loaded correctly, and you just start a launch file and you set start point and goal, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
This I think is even better. Just a very simple example.
Okay.
Workspace for beginners. I think when I started, I know that this would have helped me a lot.
Yeah, but to make it simple is difficult. So so it is not the problem of making it. It's the problem of making it simple for beginners. Because to start setting up, you need to modify a lot of launch files and some modification. I created a tutorial. I don't know if you have seen this tutorial or not, for beginners, but with Carla. Let me share in the YouTube. Actually, I moved some tutorials to Takeda Lab YouTube channel. So playlists, you have this OpenPlanner 2 tutorial, this one. Like videos from maybe around average 15 minutes each video that explain how to initialize and use the launch files with OpenPlanner, and also use Carla and create the KML map from OpenDrive, so you can use OpenDrive and so on. So, but this is not a famous tutorial. I just uploaded it soon, like maybe last month. So this is one thing, could be a solution to your request, Max. If we can do this,
I think,
as documents, yes, it will be better.
I think I will have to set up a Docker running OpenPlanner for the automated testing anyways. And maybe this could be a solution to publish the automated testing Docker as a reference for beginners. Since Docker is quite easy to use, you have to watch a Docker tutorial, and afterwards you can simply use like few commands, publish to a README markdown, and simply execute it, as Max said.
Okay, that would be a very good step to have Docker for example. Like
because otherwise you would have to match the Autoware dependencies again, and this is often quite tedious.
Yeah, yes, I agree with you. This could be a good step forward. Okay, so while working, well, let's keep this in mind and create the very simple tutorial, starting tutorial for users or for OpenPlanner. Okay. Yeah, sure. These, I will share the link in the chat. Okay, so this is the HD map support from my side. Currently, how I support, how OpenPlanner support, you translate everything to the common road network definition inside OpenPlanner. So there is a map loader for each type. vector map, different map loader, Lanelet 2, different map loader, KML, actually it has a different map loader. So, and then at the end, there is one data structure which is called road network, which contains the map. Armin is doing the same for OpenDrive. Thank you for the effort, and he will present now what he's been working on from this regard.
Yes, so I will quickly share my screen. So I hope you can see it.
Yes, we can.
Great. Okay. I added OpenDrive map support to OpenPlanner, at least like as a prototypic draft state, I'd say. We already tested it to some in some aspects, but not entirely. And as Hatem said, I'll first present our motivation, which is quite clear. We currently use OpenDrive as our main map format. We work together with research partners that use OpenDrive, and therefore the direct compatibility of OpenPlanner with those map files would be really improving our workflow. And we use like some simulation tools that could support OpenDrive directly as well. And the step of converting it to an KML file can be tedious if you have to add all of those independent traffic lights already, even though they are part of the OpenDrive map as well. And as Hatem proposed before, I added a new map loader to the OP Planner, which iterates through the OpenDrive file, loads all of the data into the road network class, and then uses the already existing OpenPlanner functions to link like predecessing and successing lanes. And also it links traffic lights to stop lines. And for loading the OpenDrive map, it uses Pugy XML and the OpenDrive parser developed by the Computer Vision Center at University Autonoma in Barcelona. And they published this on a MIT license, so we should be fine. And yeah. The OpenDrive map loader then has to be included on all of the files that also use like the KML map loader and the Lanelet map loader, and you have to add a new map source type for OpenDrive files to the enum. And this is also necessary for perception, like wherever there is a map file loaded, you have to add this map loader. And yeah, there are some comments on the current implementation. I do not use the road boundaries at this point, simply because we didn't need it so far. They will be added as soon as we require it, which I think will be in the next 1 or 2 months. And we also do only use arc and line geometries since we use MathWorks Roadrunner to create the map files, and they only use arc and line geometries. The other types of geometries like spirals or polygons are quite easy to extend since I implemented a function for each map, which or for each for each geometry type, which then afterwards publishes the individual points to the road network, and therefore they can be added quite easily. And the traffic lights and stop lines that are generated by Roadrunner are still quite experimental, since Roadrunner has a weird way of generating those. yeah, we currently think it's a bug on the side of MathWorks, since Roadrunner is also not that old of a tool. Like they still sometimes mess up the position of the traffic lights or stop lines if you change some features of the junction. But this will be hopefully getting better at some point. And we were able to create a map for the for our campus that works and can be afterwards converted to OpenDrive using this tool. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay.
I had a question about OpenDrive.
Yeah.
There's this OpenDrive format, but there is also Apollo OpenDrive, the modified version of OpenDrive that Apollo uses. So does your loader support only the generic OpenDrive? And what are your thoughts about the Apollo OpenDrive modification, or do you have any experience with that?
I did not test anything with the Apollo OpenDrive implementation, but they probably just removed some features from the generic definition. So I think it wouldn't be too hard to adapt the current conversion, since the hardest part is converting the OpenDrive geometries, since they aren't just individual points, which will later on be linked by straight lines. They actually define geometries for curves by mathematic arcs, and therefore you have way smaller map files. And I think those, or at least I hope that in the Apollo implementation, they still use this benefit of OpenDrive for the generation. Yeah, but I would have to take a look at it.
I think they yes used simplified geometries. I think it was only like a point geometries, or the sequence of points. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's something I did for the visualization as well, since it's easy to plot the how is it called, line marker array or something like that in Arvis, and therefore I used only the points defining the maps, but it then basically comes back to an lanelet implementation described in a different XML structure. As soon as you start using only line geometries, you lose the benefits of OpenDrive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, since they use line geometries for those, you can use the converter then as well, since I support line geometries. And
nice.
yeah, something I forgot to add to the comments. There are still some weird bugs as soon as you start adding like 7 or 8 lanes next to each other and start linking them to junctions. Then sometimes the successor and predecessor are messed up. Like it generates properly, all of the center lines are at the correct position, but the linking at this point is not working to 100%. I have to fix this as well. It's like in an alpha stage, working for all the maps that were important to us, but it should be ready till mid-September for the release.
Yeah, from my point of view, actually linking the roads and lanes are much more difficult than the geometry itself. Because I've seen a lot of different OpenDrive maps from different providers, not only Roadrunners, and they use different approach. It's still, they are following the standard, but different approach means some of them define the junction roads as junctions and add a connection between junction and a road in the bottom, in the connection, like junctions tag, XML tags at the bottom. And some of them, they ignore that and they just add the junctions as normal road and they connect them by predecessors and successors. Some of them use the end and start. When they define the file, all the roads are defined in a sequence. So you have, when you parse, you can organizedly extract everything and it's logically connected. And some of them, they are not defined in sequence. So you can find like 2 roads connected but head to head, and then the other roads connected back to back, which is you need to take care of while parsing.
Yeah, that's something that's working already. I just there is some roads that get defined by the like basically what I talked about, like a road with like 4 lanes next to each other, which has sidewalks on each side and bicycle lanes on each side. Then you get issues with as soon as it is only defined from one side and not from the mid lane, which is given by the common roads by the OpenDrive standard. Then you get issues with the linked lanes if they aren't filled out properly. But I also think this is an issue from the side of Roadrunner. I think many implementations of OpenDrive currently just don't agree to the standard, and therefore it's also impossible to directly import it.
Yeah, one thing is you will need continuous modification if you want to support like different provider, different OpenDrive map provider. Yeah,
that's true.
Okay, that's
yeah. Maybe we can also just add it as an experimental feature. If somebody needs it for their use case, then they can use it, or as a kind of reference implementation. If somebody wants to directly use OpenDrive maps, they can base their code on what's added to this, and we can add an example OpenDrive file. Or we don't even add it to the entire release, and I will publish it on our university GitHub, and maybe we can link it from like the Autoware release can link to our repository, so people searching for OpenDrive implementation can find it. If we don't get it to a point where it's working with, or as you said, we will probably not get it to a point where it works with all of the OpenDrive maps out there, since there are quite some weird interpretations of the OpenDrive map standard by some companies or map tools.
Yeah, if you have issue with that, if you want to compare implementations, I have one implementation at the Azure mapping tool.
Yeah,
you can compare that. Yeah, if you have any question about that, also you can ask me. I can share the code with you. It's not open source, but you can have a look and check where is the issue and then compare your implementation with this implementation.
That would be great. Well, thank you a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so we're looking forward for the merge request for that.
Yeah, as I said, I like latest. I will try to finish everything in time for the mid-September release. I still have some studies to do this semester, so I'm quite busy till July. But afterwards, I will get to work on that.
Okay, can we just add the like the interfacing functionality, the file, the OpenDrive map loader, the modification and the launch files, and the calling of the function? It doesn't have to be working. Like just in the interfaces, the main changes, because this will be changed in a lot of places. we can add empty functions, and
Okay,
just
yeah.
when it's called, it just say I'm working fine. Then you can improve and add the implementation in the OP Planner library only later.
Okay, I'm happy with that. Yeah, so
Okay.
you can do so.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, that was the last item from my agenda. Anyone has any updates or item want to talk about?
Just a short question about the integration of the yield state. Are we planning it for the next release, or are we postponing it?
It depends on your status. Can we, if we can add in the testing document, testing plan, add some tests for that and verify it's working, then why not we add it?
Okay. I'll talk to Armin because I think I've missed the first part of the meeting, so I don't have to take all of your time, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, sure. I will, maybe by tomorrow I will post the video. Also the Takeda Lab YouTube channel. I added the all working group meetings there, so you can check the video also if you want more details
perfect.
about the first part of the
yeah, that's a good idea, probably. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Okay. So I'm looking forward for your feedback about the testing plan from Armin and Dr. Tambet and from Max. And let's improve this document. One thing I will try to do, add like a shared Excel, or maybe I'll try check GitHub. If it has just the name or number of the test, and if I can do this test and say, okay, it's working fine, then we can confirm this test is working. So we just save time for everyone to run the tests again. Okay. Okay, I think we can wrap up the meeting. Any question or discussion item left?
Will you set up the meeting with Max and me for the testing discussion?
Yes, we want to set up that. I want to check your free time and his free time and set up the meeting. Maybe Friday. Will you have time Friday, Max?
Let me check my calendar.
Next week. I'm not
yes.
talking about this week.
Oh, okay. Yes, seems good to me.
Okay.
I have an exam next week on Friday, so
okay.
it won't work. Sorry.
Okay. That's why let's plan offline.
Yeah. Let's set it up and
let's check offline.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Let's wrap up. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all for attending the meeting.
Thanks.
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 Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Thanks.